Lovely, lovely, wonderful people. A pleasant evening to everybody. No, beautiful people. Sometimes, I don't like vlogging unless it's with a purpose. I know we live in a day and age where people just like popcorn and cheese tricks type of fun. They don't like the strawberries, the berries, the healthy food kind of fun. Meaning things that are very fizzy and in passing and that doesn't help to build the brain waves and cells and whatnot. We tend to dabble in mediocrity as opposed to something that is really of quality and of class and of elegance and of grace, and that is really, really good. But I try to vlog on things that will help us to learn and to, charter our course in a better way. Many of us probably we have, done some things that we are not necessarily proud of doing. We're all human beings. I think everybody has been through that. We're not perfect. We're flawed, we're blemished. But every day we try to be more mature and try to be more better for those who choose that. There's some who choose to be worse and worse. It's a reality, yeah. Just like how some people choose to serve God and some choose to serve the devil. It's a reality that we have to face. So with that being said, I was watching the news and it spoke about this 20-year-old or 21-year-old, early 20s thereabout. I think she owned a bar or she worked at a bar, and her body was found in a suitcase. I mean, her father was distraught. He said she was the most... He probably couldn't help it because she has died, to say that she's a favorite, because when he and the others would fall out, I guess she and he, both of them don't really fall out. But outside of that, what concerned me is the manner in which she has been found in the suitcase. That's one. And two, another gentleman, a resident that was speaking, stated, I think it was a family member, like he's, and I'm paraphrasing, it's almost like his size and his pain is saying, not again, this is a third time. So I'm not sure if it's a third time that somebody was found in a suitcase, but third time of a similar situation like this in Westmoreland. Now I'm not sure what is happening with our young girls, if they're not being cautious, because they mentioned that she left her place of business at about 11 p.m. and then went back on the road because she had gotten a call to meet somebody. Boy, for me, let me put it this way. If you leave your place of business at 11 p.m., Jamaicans, when they're going out, they like to go out. Some people they leave their house at 11 p.m. to go out. 12 p.m., 1 o'clock to go out, because that is when the party becomes really nice and entertaining. But for me, I'm thinking, if you have to leave your place of business at 11 p.m., you're going to be tired, you're going to be exhausted. At that time when people begin to be getting ready to go out, the Jamaican, I never thought it is a prudent and a wise idea. I never thought it was a prudent or a wise idea for her to leave her home at that time to go out, because she's leaving at a time that some people would be coming in, and most people, if you're going out late, then you would be leaving at that time. But from the mere fact you're coming in so late, it doesn't matter who it is. Nobody should be calling you out of your humble abode at that time to come and meet them. That is just... There's so many red flags in that. It's not funny. Because even if you're dating the individual, that individual for me would be a little bit heartless, because one, you are leaving your place of employment at 11 p.m. You're tired. What would you be doing at that time? To be going out. So I am not sure, if somebody may have said to her, I don't think you should go. Why would you be leaving at this time? You just came in. It's late. It's almost midnight anyway. It's less than an hour to be midnight. I think you should stay in and get some rest. People sometimes, and I say this respectfully, sometimes when you come in, stand at your yard. Do not go out. Stay home. Learn that balance. There is no way that I'm coming home until it has to be an emergency, like, some family member or whatever it is. And even then, I still have to use a little wisdom. But outside of a way out situation like that, I'm talking generally, by and large, I'm not leaving my home, coming in at 11, leaving my home to go to what? To meet who? Man, I run away? What? When I heard it, I said, why would she do that? You know, and I can't say that nobody didn't say anything to her, because sometimes people do and we cannot all listen. I would say, no, man, so and so, because, you know, and look, she left and never returned, never will return. And what bothered me is the fact that the gentleman that was speaking had stated that this is the third time a similar situation like this has happened, where somebody has died in a heinous way. So I'm not sure, let me tell you, people, you have to really and truly guide our younger folk. You know, in Titus, I think it's the second book of Titus, or second chapter, sorry, not second book, second chapter of Titus. And it somewhere in it says, and the older woman must guide the younger woman. It talked about the older men guiding the younger. Where are the mentors? Some of these people who should be, based on their age, should be mentors, need to be mentored, you know, because even the younger ones seem to be a little bit more sensible and smart, emotionally intelligent than some of these older ones, you know. And a bad tradition is being passed down, people just leaving people up to their whims and fancies. Yes, we know that God has given us all volition. Yes, we know we can't tell people what to do. We fully understand that. But good God, we need to reach a place and a stage where we look out for our young people. We guide them, we talk to them, you know. They will listen one day, you know. I remember I was saying to somebody when I went to high school, the great Holy Childhood High School. And I remember the late and great and esteemed Sister Mary Stephanie. And she would always, basically every morning, maybe not every single morning, but most mornings, ladies do not walk on the lawn. And, you know, sometimes I give a lot of trouble then, so I probably would walk on the lawn sometimes and all of that. Let me tell you now, as an adult, if you see me walk on the lawn, it must mean that there is some debris in the road is damaged, there is no road, some kind of defect to the road. I'm uncomfortable walking on lawns. She never gave up. She instilled a principle and a value. Now I'm saying, wonderful people, beautiful people, I had to take a long break. I don't even know where in this video I reach, but let me just say, look, we need to start talking to our young people, guiding them. We need to guide them because they are something is awry. Because I was very, very concerned when I heard, and very taken aback when the man who was speaking said that this is a third time a similar situation where a woman was found, you know, in a heinous manner, not necessarily in a suitcase, but in another heinous way. So it says a lot, you know, what is it that we're doing in terms of guiding our young people, what it is that we're doing in terms of safeguarding our young people in our community. Are we being our brother and our sister's keeper? I know nowadays you can't talk to some people, not just young, old too. You can't talk to nobody. You can't advise nobody. Everybody is every man and woman for him or herself. No, do what we want to do. And you're right, we all have our volition. But one thing I've often said to somebody, you have choices. One thing though that you cannot bargain with is consequences. You cannot reason with consequences. You can't argue your way out of consequences. They come and you have to just deal with it. It is like death. When it comes, you have to deal with it. You have no alternative but to deal with it when it comes. Because this is crazy to hear that this is a third situation of a young woman being annihilated in a heinous manner and nothing comes of it. And we don't see a problem. We don't think that, you know, things, we are not being our brother and our sister's keeper. We're not doing the village raising anymore. We're not speaking. Sometimes, look here, let me tell you something. Make them vex. Do your part as a human. Make them vex. I'm not saying you need to tell people what to do, but you need to guide them along the way. You need to guide, we need to guide them. Because had somebody really guided her, she would not have come home at 11 p.m. and left her home at that time to go and meet anybody. It doesn't matter who, unless it's a hospital she had to rush to with her child or spouse or mother or father or something of the sort. Guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube.